All right, Mark here again. Y'all know how to do cook the books, bring y'all the information. So I was telling you guys in my last video about alchemy and how alchemy and radioactivity has the same underpinnings in terms of transmutation, in terms of converting elements from one to the other. Now, a lot of people think transformation and transmutation, they get too confused, but I want to highlight that transformation is simply a change in the appearance. Transformation is the superficial form of transmutation, because transformation doesn't change the element. All it does is rearranges the outer garments of the element, okay? It is simply a change in appearance, not a change in the element itself. So whereas transmutation, there's a complete change from one element to the other. Example, platinum 198, when it's bombarded with projectiles, goes into what's called beta decay, which is a form of radioactivity, and out of that beta decay we have the product, the offspring of gold. So the gold can be artificially induced, or induced transmutation, right? Induced transmutation. This is artificial. So the reason why I talk about these transmutation and transformation of elements is because, again, my goal, I'm a 40-year-old man, and I don't believe my evolution has ended. I believe it has just begun. I aspire more than, you know, I don't want to put it like this. You know, I'm in finance on Wall Street, and every day, you know, every year I set goals in terms of, you know, financial goals that I want to reach and meet. But my ultimate purpose, my passion, my biggest goal is to make myself into a new creature. That's my biggest goal. Make myself into a new version of myself. You know, and I always use Malcom X as a good example. When he went into prison, he was Detroit Red. He was a womanizer. He was a pimp. He was a thief, drug user and seller. You could read his book by Alex Haley. I believe it was by Alex Haley. I read it years ago, the autobiography of Malcom X. But when he went into prison, he came out Malcom X, and the rest is history. Now, when elements are converted or transmuted into new elements, they have to go into what's called a nuclear reactor. This is artificial, not the natural radioactivity, but the induced or artificial transmutation. Elements are placed into a device called a nuclear reactor. Two things. Within the nuclear reactor, there is extremely high temperature and high pressured, it's a high pressured environment. When Malcom X when Detroit Red went into prison, Detroit Red was the element in this allegory that I'm explaining. The prison was the nuclear reactor. The bombardment was the pressure of prison, because when elements are placed in nuclear reactors, they're bombarded. Like I mentioned before, they're bombarded with fundamental particles, whether it be a neutron or a neutrino. The bombardment of the prison is the environment itself, the difficulties and factors that environment brought the best out of out of Detroit Red, and he converted to a new element, which was Malcom X. So, you know, we don't have to be placed into prison, right? We don't have to be placed into a nuclear reactor, but we can create our own nuclear reactors, our own prison, which is what's called discipline, as I mentioned before. By practicing stoicism, for instance, stoics, people who are stoics, by practicing abstinence, by meditation, prayer, constant studying of something that is constructive to your growth and advancement and development. Again, limiting and getting rid of people out of your life. That's like the #1 rule. Getting rid of those who aren't facilitating and are conducive to your growth and development. So you know, until next time, y'all know what I'm gonna be doing: cooking the books, bringing the information, transmutation, y'all. That's the word of the day. Peace.